Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of the Business Spotlight. I'm Scott McMeans, and today I'm with Chad Ressler of Doubletake Video. Today, we're going to get a chance to listen to Chad's story, what makes Doubletake such a cool business to do business with, what they do that's so special. And honestly, we're going to listen to Chad tell us some challenges and some of the things he's learned along the way being a business owner. So, with that, Chad, introduce yourself. The microphone and the camera are yours. Tell us who you are and how you got here.
Yeah, so we started Doubletake Video in 2020. We had a mentor who we were working with, and he did kind of corporate video production, and we were working with him, and he was like, "Why don't you start your own company?" And so we loved doing video before, and we were in college for film production, so we were like, "Why not just try to see what we can do while we're in college and see where it goes?" And that started out doing some small videos for local businesses. We didn't know as far as what kind of business we like working with, as far as we want to work with. But we soon realized that we could use videos to help businesses grow online, reach their audiences, and really just grow their brand as a whole. So after college, we went full time into it, and we've been full time in it for a year and a half now. It's really great. We've helped a lot of local businesses and businesses all over the Northeast Ohio area, and it's been really great.
I love it. Now, most people are probably not picking up on this, but you make comment about the word we
Oh yeah.
a number of different times.
Oh, yeah.
So, who is your partner? And it's going to tie into why your company is called Double Take Video. So, tell us who your partner is.
Yeah, so my partner is Jake Ressler. We are identical twin brothers, and he's mainly the editing person, but I also do some of the editing work. But we've worked together doing videos our whole lives, so it's been really great to have the two of us. We're not on our own in this business journey, and that's been really great. And people love twins. People love asking questions about twins. Yes, we've been the twins days. Get that out of the way. That's always a question we get asked. So
Well, it's easy here in Northeast Ohio, Twins Day, Twinsburg, right? It's
yeah.
it's a common thing. What I want to talk about, I mean, we number the challenges, lessons, all that, but what I want to kind of hit on is two identical twin brothers. Who's stronger in what? Who is taking over this part of the business versus that? Like, is there one mind that you guys share? How does this work? Because I think one, people want to know how two people can operate a business together. And secondly, the intrigue of twins, people are really interested. So, how does this work for you guys?
Yeah, so it's been pretty interesting. I mean, early on, we realized that Jake was going to handle more of the creative work, and I was going to handle more of the outreach business kind of work. But obviously, we both love being part of this business, doing videos. So I'm out in a lot of the shoots, and um, as much as we do separate roles, we are always talking. We're always working together. I mean, we have very similar minds, very similar thinking processes. So as far as that goes, it's been pretty easy. It's kind of like having two of yourself.
No,
Yeah.
it's good. Now, what I found is businesses that are run by one person have a one mindset, one vision, one mission. When you have two people, does it get blurred? How would you describe the vision and mission of your business, knowing that there's two people? Granted, you're brothers, you have a lot of the same thought process, a lot of the same values, but how does that tie into two people running one business?
Yeah, I think it's all about just communication. I mean, we obviously we think very similarly, but we also have different opinions on things. So we're always bouncing ideas back and forth. And usually we end up with some kind of compromise if we do have different ideas. But also like the business we're in, we're in a state where we can kind of try things and see what works, what doesn't
Yeah.
work. And that's what we're still in to some extent is trying to see what we like doing, what we don't like doing, what works for our clients, what might not work as well for our clients. And it's been a learning process, which it'll always be a learning process. But having two of us that think alike but have different opinions has been great, and it's been really beneficial to our success.
I would agree that being flexible and being adaptable so you learn along the way is a huge part of why you'd be successful. But there's also something that I think you and I talked about before. You want to have a foundation of who you are before you get into your creativity, before you get into the customer interaction, because Double Take Video stands for a certain something, whatever that value proposition is, that's what you stand for. So when you bring people into your world, they know exactly why they work with you. And then you get to be creative, you get to be collaborative, you get to be exchanging goods or good ideas for bad ideas, whatever the case may be. But there's something that is foundationally true to Double Take Video. So, what would you say is your value proposition? What is the foundational thing that allows you and Jake to be seen as the company I want to work with?
Yeah. So I guess it would be that most brands, most businesses, they have content, but they really have content that lacks the storytelling that reaches their audience and kind of tells them who they are. Obviously, nowadays we see video content is huge. It's bigger than it was a year ago. It was bigger even next year. But I think everyone needs video content. So the more we can help businesses get video content and utilize it to actually grow their brand instead of just having videos online. Because we've all been there, you post something and nothing happens, and you were thinking like, what's the point of posting this? What's the point of having this video? And early on, that's what we were doing a lot, was just making videos for businesses, not really having much strategy behind it. And nowadays, we're really focusing on the strategy first and foremost. What can this video do for your business? What kind of problems can it solve? And that could be as simple as just growing your audience online. That could be more complex, like converting more customers on your website. But really, just helping brands stand out with video through strategy is where we've really found our niche per se. And with that, we've become a lot of our clients. We're almost like their fractional video team to some extent, where they have a social media manager, they have a marketing team, but they can't really do video in house as much as a professional video goes. So while they can handle some BTS videos on people's phones and stuff, cute little TikToks, when they need video ads that lean to look more professional, we can come in and get that done. We can kind of work with the marketing team, show their brand in a professional video sense, and reach their audience more with a video than just a short little reel.
And the quality is better, right?
Yeah,
So one of the things you made comments to, content is king,
yeah,
but I'm going to add something in, and you tell me if I'm wrong. If content is king, the right content builds your empire,
mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So
100.
you can have this amazing, like, content, put out a ton of content, but if it's the wrong content, it doesn't hit your target audience, it doesn't necessarily portray your offer or your value proposition. It's just fun, and that's great. It gets you the awareness, gets people to click and pay attention to you, but they don't know what to do with you. So the right content is actually what you need. And it sounds like, and I, everything I've seen so far, Double Take Video makes sure that the strategy is in place, the right content is being created and distributed in the pathways that make people want to pay attention to you and then engage. And I think that's exactly what everybody's looking for when they're trying to build their business, right?
Mhm. Yeah, correct.
That's awesome. So as we're talking about two different guys, twin brothers, and I forgot to mention, you both graduated from
Ohio State,
where?
the Ohio State
The
University.
Ohio. Come on, it's trademarked. You got to say
That's
the,
true. That's
right?
true. That's true.
The national champion Ohio
That's
State
true. I
Buckeye.
thought, yeah, that's true. That's
There's a
true.
lot going on here, right? But I find it interesting that you both went to school together. You've you did video production. You understand how it works, and instead of going down the pathway of we're going to make movies, we're going to do all that, you came into this world because, and I don't want to steal words from you, so explain this for the audience. But I remember our conversation where you said we enjoy this because we have a direct impact on people we work with, and
Yeah.
that's different than taking years to make a video or make a movie. It's we film something, we edit it, we get it out there, and within a month or so, it has an immediate impact.
Mhm.
That's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say every video you do can be done in a month. You're going to have to tell the audience how fast you can do stuff. But I want to make sure that that's the reason, that's your why behind
Yeah.
what you do. It's not just we like doing this, it's we like doing this because we get a chance to see our impact on our customers immediately or relatively immediately because we do something and then we can see it right away. How do you guys judge what is and what is not successful when it comes to content? How do you define what's right for somebody? Walk me through that pathway.
Yeah, so I guess it all starts out with a kind of discovery call with a client and kind of hearing their problems. A lot, I think 99% of the time, a client will come in and they know they need video. They might not know exactly what they need, but they're gonna have some kind of idea, even if it's just a something they saw online. Like, do we need something like this for our website or something? And we work with the client and kind of figure out what exactly they need, and why they think they need that. It could be a more complex problem with their marketing. We have partners we work with that help do social media, help do photography, other stuff like that. But when we talk about video strategy, we're talking about how can videos impact the business. So after the discovery call, we'll have some kind of once we have the project up and running, we'll do some kind of strategy meeting where we'll talk about the project, talk about what exactly we should put in the project, all the logistics, but also uh, making sure that the video and the video package is going to encapsulate everything they need it to really have an impact in their business. And what we've been doing more of recently, because when we first started business, we weren't doing video strategy. We were just doing videos, and sometimes that's just the project. We just make a video, and they know exactly what they need, and we can get that done. But when we started diving more into video strategy this past year and a half, since we've been full time into it, to really make an impact on our clients' businesses, we like looking at their content, even if it's just as a third party, like on our own, seeing what when they post it, what's doing well, what's not doing well. So then when we go back and make content later on, we can use what's working, what's not working. And
Yeah.
we usually when we start a project, not necessarily with the client, but our team on our own will go into their competitors' website, social media, and kind of look at in their industry what's performing well, what's not performing well, what we personally like and don't like. We kind of write that all out and when we go in shooting and editing, we know what kind of works, what doesn't work. I mean, it's not a science, but it certainly helps to deliver better results than just
Yeah.
making something just because.
Well, one of the things I thought I liked that you said was we identify what somebody wants, we
Mhm.
figure out what they need, and then we create that.
Yeah.
So, from a discovery call to a strategy, to an identification of a problem, to a solution, to a message, to recording, to distribution. That's a pretty cool step by step process of how double take video works. And again, I'm going to fall back on I love the idea that you say we identify what they want, but we create what they need. That's
Mhm.
one of the biggest things that every business would love to have is somebody that comes in, spends time to understand them, and doesn't give them what they wanted, but identifies what they need. That's a huge separation for you guys. Because most
Mhm.
people happy to take the order. Thank you so much for the money. We're going to come and do whatever you tell us to do, and then we're going to leave. But if you take the time to do a strategy session, figure out what's trying to be what the problem is, give them a solution, figure out what the message is, record it, distribute it. Pretty good way of taking care of people.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys are being so successful.
Mhm.
So now that we've talked about some of the great stuff that you guys do, I want to get into as a business owner, what have you and Jake learned as far as how do you address a challenge? What is something that's been a hurdle that you guys had to get over that some of the people in the audience can kind of learn from. And I've always made this comment problems in business come in one of four categories it's either time, money, people, or motivation. And all the problems out in the world fall into one of those four buckets. And I know it's a simplified way of looking at it, but it's straightforward. So, what is it that you would say are some of the bigger challenges that you and your brother have kind of taken on, learned from, and beaten that other people can learn from?
Yeah, I think the main one that we've struggled with, but also kind of learned to cope with is our whole lives as twins and kind of like as a team, the two of us, we're very flexible, very like we'll do whatever, we'll kind of make it work, we'll figure it out later, which is how a lot of businesses start. But we've learned since we've been full time into this and really, um, really have to put systems in place for our business. And as far as that goes, there's a lot of video companies out there that we follow, that we connect with, and we kind of talk through their systems and what they do. And we've realized that uh, it's not a one size fits all solution for businesses. Our business is going to be different than others, and we can be flexible. We can have our own type of business. We don't have to be exactly like everyone else to be successful. And once we've learned that, once we've kind of learn to accept that and understand that we're our own company. We don't have to follow these arbitrary rules of how to do things. We've it's been a lot smoother. But as far as that goes, we still have to implement systems and structure into our business. So we're not just kind of doing whatever. Because to some extent, when you're in college and you have a part-time business and you're kind of
Yeah,
just shooting off emails, trying to just do whatever when you have time, you're really flexible. You'll do it whatever. But we're trying to have more structure in our business, kind of more structure in our packaging and what we deliver, what we don't do. For a while, that we never said no to anything. Now we make sure a client comes to us, we want to make sure in that discovery call if they're a good fit for us, but if we're a good fit for them. We have other partners in the industry that maybe they're a better fit. Maybe we're just not a good fit at all. So um, we've learned to kind of adapt with that and have more structure as far as how our overall systems go.
I love that. And the fact that you were so flexible in the early stages, and this is where every small business goes through this. I need to chase as much dollars as I possibly can. So I'm going to run around. I'm going to do anything I can just to get that dollar bill. And then they realize I'm trying to be everything to everybody and I can't make anybody happy. Why is this business not working? You take a step back and you and your brother have identified if we just systemize our approach and we can say no to things we don't want to do and say yes to the things we want to do, work with the people we want to work with, it all falls in place because the value up front brings dollars behind it. And the idea of you saying, we just needed structure, we needed to say no to the things we weren't capable or willing to do, it changes your whole life, right? It changes the way you look at business because you're not chasing dollar bills anymore. People are chasing you saying, you guys are so good. I've seen your work. I know what you're capable of. Your process seems to work incredibly well. Here's money. Come work with me. And now you're the one that gets to choose where you're going to go. It's a great place to be. It's a really great place to be. How long did it take you to get there?
I think we're still learning personally. I mean, we feel, I mean,
It's a
as a
great
business owner,
answer.
you feel as much as I've read about entrepreneurship, I think I realized that you never really truly feel like you know what's going on. You always
Yeah,
at some point you need to just go, I don't know everything and but we're gonna figure it out and we're
right.
just happy to keep improving every single day.
It's pretty impressive, right? If you think about all I have to do is be 1% better than yesterday. You've heard that.
Yeah.
Just learn something new today. And if that learning comes from I fell flat on my face today, all right, I know now how I won't walk again anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall on my face.
Yeah.
So it brings me to the next question. What are some of the most valuable lessons you and your brother have learned in the last 2 years plus that you guys have been, or 4 years plus you guys have been doing this? What are some of the bigger lessons that really, damn, I wish I would have learned this one earlier? Or I learned this recently. It's so impactful. I want somebody else to learn this too.
Hmm. I think one of the biggest things for us as far as getting new clients and outreach goes is for our kind of business, every client, it's not a constant revolving door. Like we have clients who once we do a project for them, we know we're going to be constantly called down the road to do
Mhm.
projects for them. So I think it's been less of a like, oh, that's make this great video for them and just forget about it. It's been more how can we really assist our clients and continue this relationship for the long term. As obviously there's infinite businesses out there that need video content, but once we find a business that we love working with, that we really like being with, it's almost like a relationship where they can give us business, but also we can help them grow, and through that we can get more work, and
Yeah,
it's a two-way street. So constantly nurturing that relationship and kind of just providing value, even to people on LinkedIn or Instagram or anything with our content now that we post ourselves or that if we outreach to someone, it's less about just getting a business, but it's more about providing value, and that value is just kind of like planting seeds, where at some point that could grow and um, you kind of have to just give a value and not expect anything in return. And
love that.
you have to just live with that and know that you're helping people because a lot of businesses aren't in the realm of needing our help yet or not budget wise per se.
Yeah,
So if we can help them with tips get there, if we can help them just grow their brand through tips about how to film video content or what kinds of video content would help them, that's better than not.
it's better than anything else, right?
Yeah.
It's the continuation of a relationship, right? It's allowing something to foster, something to grow because, like you said, you're planting these seeds. People are working with you, seeing your value. God, you guys have brought so much. We need to keep working together.
Mhm.
As a video production company, I have to ask, what are some, and don't name the company, but what are
Right.
some of the most unique experiences you've had filming?
That's a good question. I think the one we always go back to is when we first started, we filmed for a doggy daycare. And that was very interesting. That was
Love it.
very lots of dogs, way more dogs than I expected to be there, all over the camera, licking the camera. It was a lot of fun. The video came out great, but it was a lot of fun. But I think what's interesting is like a few weeks ago, we start of the year, we had a whole bunch of shoots in 1 week. One day we were shooting a dermatology commercial. One day we were shooting a these training videos for a digital software platform. Um, the next day we were uh, filming like real estate stuff. It's every single day it's a new thing.
Yeah,
But with that we kind of can refresh our creativity, have something new to do every single day. And I think through that, when we first started our business, we were like, what kind of niche should we do? Should we just do manufacturing? Should we just do healthcare? Should we just do real estate? But I think through having this complex set of clients and really being able to help them with their video content, every day we have a new idea and we'll find an idea from one industry that we can apply to another industry. I think that's where you get like really new
hmm
and fresh content is through shooting a commercial like it's a documentary. Or I saw this video talking about how try to apply different industries to other industries and using the content to make it new and fresh. And that was really impactful for me. Just uh, having a client, you can obviously just produce a video that's like every other video out there, but if you got something like something different, something new, people will connect with that. Um,
Sure they will. And what I think people need to realize too is businesses are so much more similar to each other than they are separate. And the message may be different, the market or the industry is going to be different, obviously, but everybody has the same wants, desires. It's, I need people to hear my value, come visit me and buy my stuff. That's what every business is looking for. So, like you said, if it's a dermatology or it's a doggy daycare, they're all asking for the same thing. Help me give people a view into my value so they come visit me. That's what everybody's looking for. It's brilliant. I love the idea that new clients, new chemists, new challenges all bring about new creativity for you and your team, which is actually pretty cool. Great stuff. I want to ask you, what's the biggest lesson, life lesson you've now been a part of because you're a business owner?
mhm.
Granted, we can talk about, um, the different things you already said. I want to know from a life lesson perspective as a business owner, what's the most revolutionary thing you've been like light upon yonder window break? Like, what is that moment for you?
Yeah, I think for me it's just knowing that you can have a day off. You don't have to think about your business all day, every single day. Early on, obviously, it was great. It's everything we thought about, and you work for 14 days in a row. And by working, I mean that could be an hour in the weekend. But I think
Mhm.
having to really separate your time from your business and not in your business, you can't come back to your business uh, with a fresh set of eyes when you've been working on it every single day. But I mean, you have those weeks, you have those days where it's just nonstop. Um, Being able to kind of segment your time, knowing you should
Oh,
take time away, refresh, collect your thoughts. Not every single day has to be um, 15-hour days working on your business. Um,
love that.
at least at some point. Um,
No, it should be. And here's a funny thing. Most people, when they start a business, never in a million years thought, I'm going to start this business and work 80 hours a week. Nobody thinks that. Nobody wants that, right? What they do is they say, I'm going to start a business so I can give back to the community. I can have my own life. I can have this great business that's mine to own and employ people, all these great, wonderful things until they get halfway into it. Like, oh my God, I have a job I go to every day and I'm grinding away. I didn't start a business for this. So for you to recognize early on, this is kind of the vehicle for you and your brother to establish something different.
yeah.
It's a really good thing. It's a really positive thing. I love that part of it.
But I think for video businesses, especially, it's like if you get too much into it like that, working all the time, every single day, it can almost feel like having 10 jobs at once, where like you have
Yeah.
10 different clients you're doing work for at once, and it's almost like you're now working 10 jobs at once instead of just one job, your business.
Yeah. And you want to be able to be focused on the areas that you need to be focused on because your clients are relying on you to be their creative vehicle to get this video done. And if you're distracted or you're working too many different jobs, it makes it really hard to do that. So I love the idea that you said segment your time
Mhm.
to make sure that you can be refreshed and come back more creative. Great stuff. All right, last question for you. If I put you in a time machine and sent you back and you had a chance to sit at the Ohio State University on a park bench next to 18-year-old Chad, what advice would you give yourself?
I think I would just take it all in and take your time. Don't worry about how fast something's growing. Don't worry about how many no's you're getting. Just keep going. I think early on in business, you get a lot of no's. And even later on in business, you get a lot of no's. But I think every no is just an opportunity for another yes. When we first started, we didn't have any portfolio, any kind of thing to show people outside of our own little skits we made. So we were just pitching coffee shops saying we'll do a video for free. And from there you learn what works, what doesn't work. And we know we can make something great, but we have to just prove to them uh, that we can actually get it done. I think we're pretty flexible people, pretty um, uh, w responsible people, and I think just making sure that because you get you an email and like not interested or like your email just starts going to spam now and you're just thinking like you're still like, am I right for this? Can I do this? And eventually it does get there and you realize that you can just do it. You have to just keep going.
There you go. And the idea of a no is just an opportunity for another yes, a
Yeah.
great mindset to have. Because as a salesperson, somebody with business development as their responsibility, it is a very difficult job. But if you're passionate about it and you love what you do and you represent something you have sincere, heartfelt value with, my God, it's easy to do. And when people see and recognize what you're doing and they want to be a part of it, it makes it all that much better. That's a great way to live it. Again, a no is just an opportunity for another yes down the road. Keep that mentality, man. You're going to be unbelievably successful. I want to thank you, man. This was a great conversation. A lot of good stuff came out of this. I want people to be able to connect with you. So all your information, your LinkedIn, your email, your website will all be at the bottom of the video so they can click and be engaging. Hopefully, this is something that people take a look at and really engage with Doubletake Video because I think you guys have a great product to sell and really help other businesses be as successful as you guys are. So thank you for being on the show, my man.
Yeah. No,
Any,
thanks for having
any,
me.
oh yeah, any final thoughts?
No, I just think if you're questioning about video, if you're doing video in house, you're not sure what you're doing, might not be ready for a video production company yet. You might be in the state of just kind of testing things out online, testing things out at your website. Feel free to reach out. I'll happily talk about it. And we offer a free strategy call. So
Oh,
every call
great.
we have is we offer a free strategy call where we can kind of talk about what kinds of things you're going through, just um, and we can kind of help you out from there.
Perfect. Thank you, my man. I appreciate the time today. We'll see everybody on the next episode of the Business Spotlight.